history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling her.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. You see the sum of your pay.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Midday.
Right now at midday, impaled. A driver crashes into a fence and gets pierced by a post. What he says just moments before losing control of his vehicle.
Plus, a teacher accused of touching a 10-year-old girl inappropriately goes back before a judge. We are inside the courtroom with the latest details.
And a live look outside right now, Southwest Freeway. Look at this. Very gloomy, muggy outside. Britt is going to have a look at your forecast and a timeline of when we will see some showers. And it sounds like it is straight out of a movie script. A driver loses control of his vehicle and gets impaled on a fence post. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Tanaya Wright.
And I'm Christine Noel. So this happened around 4 o'clock this morning in Willis. That man says that he hit a deer before losing control of his vehicle. Channel 2's Taisha Walker is following the details on this case. Taisha?
Yeah, Christine, that driver is lucky to be alive. We're told that he is out of surgery in stable condition today. But take a look. His truck went into that fence, crashed into a couple of those trailers there, and part of that fence went inside of him. DPS troopers say State Highway 75 in Willis was wet this morning when a pickup truck driver was speeding near Shepherd Hill Road. Troopers say the driver in his 20s claims he was avoiding a deer when his red truck went off the road, hit a pole, and went underneath a fence. Part of the fence pierced him in the chest. Firefighters were able to free him, but troopers say he had to have surgery to remove the remaining piece of the pole. NRS Trailers is now left with upwards of $100,000 in damage. This $80,000 horse trailer and camper is totaled. The brand new trailer beside it also damaged. The general manager tells us this is not the first time something like this has happened. This is now the second driver to go through the fence. You could see where the first one crashed through that fence and where they had to replace it.
The one lady said she just lost control. This guy said he avoided a deer. So I have no idea. You just put a new fence up and go at it again, I guess.
Yeah, so that's now 2 times within the last 4 months. Troopers tell us that the driver did have insurance. The company hopes that it's enough to cover all of this. Live in Willis, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Taisha. New this morning, Michael Bloomberg has qualified for tomorrow's Democratic presidential debate in Las Vegas. NBC's Tracy Potts is tracking all of the latest developments now from Washington.
Billionaire Michael Bloomberg has qualified for tomorrow night's Democratic presidential debate in Las Vegas. He received 19% in an NPR PBS Marist poll. Bloomberg's ad spending, more than all the other candidates combined, is under fire from the frontrunner, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Mr. Bloomberg, like anybody else, has a right to run for president. He does not have a right to buy the presidency.
Democrats are taking aim at billionaire Michael Bloomberg's stop and frisk policy as mayor of New York City and decades of lawsuits from female employees. He denies any wrongdoing.
Michael Bloomberg, with $62 billion, can buy every ad he wants, but he can't, in fact, wipe away his record.
We have exactly one shot.
All the candidates are spamming Nevada's airwaves with 20,000 ballots already cast in early voting and lines up to 2 hours long.
It is time for a wealth tax in America.
Senators Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar are hoping to do some catch-up here, while the man with the most delegates focuses on President Trump.
A campaign message that says that you either got to be for the revolution or you must be for the status quo. Most of us don't know where we fit in that picture.
The president heads west today, hitting 4 states, including Nevada. As for Michael Bloomberg, he will be on that stage with the other candidates tomorrow night, even though he still won't be on Nevada's ballot. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Thank you, Tracy. Channel 2 anchor Sion Rhodes is in Nevada for that debate. You can look for her live reports on air starting at 5 o'clock, as well as online at clicktohouston.com. Early voting for the March 3rd primary election is underway across Texas. This year's primary ballot includes much more than just the presidential primary. Voters will weigh in on congressional, legislative, judicial, and state board of education primaries. In Harris County, polling locations will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. each day, except for on Sunday, February 23rd, when they will be open from 1 till 6 p.m. You can find voting centers near you by going to our website, clicktohouston.com.
All right, turning to our weather now. It's another warm, muggy day out there.
It's warm, but things will soon be changing.
Yes, exactly. So if you like the spring-like temperatures, relish in it because they are numbered. And if you like the cooler temperatures, you're just hours away from winter. Let's take a live look at our tower camera. A little hazy out there. We're not going to see a ton of sunshine, but just like yesterday, we'll see breaks as we go into the afternoon. We're still kind of recovering from the gloomy start. We're at 74 degrees, so a very warm start this morning. With lunchtime temperatures in the mid-70s, we'll easily get to about 80 degrees, just like yesterday. In terms of the fog, we're doing pretty good. We had a dense fog advisory at the coast. We're still hovering around a mile for your visibility on the island. We're not going to see huge improvements. So you're still going to have that haze to the sky, especially the closer you are to the water. Once you get a few blocks away from seawall, you actually look pretty good. This is a look at exact track radar. A few light sprinkles by the island, a few of them up by Lake Livingston. The rain chances, they're going up as we go into the afternoon, especially if we see breaks of sunshine. And then the front itself is just past Dallas. That is rolling through later on this evening when we have the best chance of rain. There's another live look at the Southwest Freeway as we take you through your forecast for the rest of the day. 80 degrees, a 30% chance of rain. Notice that goes up to 40% as we go into tonight's forecast. So coming up next, I'll take you hour by hour with that cold front, and most importantly, I'll let you know when that temperature drop is going to happen here in Southeast Texas. Over to you.
All right, Britta, thank you. And remember, you at home, you can track the forecast whenever you want. Just download Frank's free forecast weather app. Search KPRC in your app store. A former HISD teacher accused of touching a 10-year-old student inappropriately is back before a judge. 46-year-old Raymond Williams is charged with indecency with a child. Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli was inside of the courtroom. He's joining us live with more on what happened this morning in court. Vincent?
Yeah, good morning. The former fourth grade teacher posted a $100,000 bond. This morning, a judge set bail conditions. The first, Williams cannot contact the victim or her family. The second, Williams cannot get close to a daycare or school. The third, Williams must surrender his passport by the end of the day. And the fourth, he may not spend time with anyone under the age of 17. Court records show in January 2019, the 10-year-old victim told her principal at Kashmere Gardens Elementary School that 46-year-old Williams touched her and made her feel uncomfortable. Then there was a police investigation. Court documents show 3 other students told detectives Williams touched them inappropriately too. However, their parents declined to pursue charges. I just spoke with the attorney representing Williams.
He was cleared in the first investigation and put back to work, and CPS cleared him, and the investigation cleared him. He was put back to work, so I don't know yet what changed from the first investigation to now.
And Williams is charged with felony indecency with a child. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years behind bars. Reporting live from the Harris County Courthouse, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Vincent. Bond is set for another HISD teacher accused of inappropriately touching a child. 39-year-old James Bradley was in court last night. A judge ordered Bradley to stay away from that child and their family. He is charged with indecency with the child. Investigators say this incident happened in February of last year while Bradley was employed at Foster Elementary School. His bond has been set at $30,000.
The coronavirus outbreak has proven to be a worldwide health emergency, but it can now become an economic problem. The 338 American evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship now face their second day of quarantine. 14 of them have tested positive for COVID-19. 88 of the Americans still on the ship have tested positive for the virus. While the death toll in China continues to rise, Apple is the first American company to reveal how they're being affected by it. The company says that its sales and profits are being hit by the coronavirus. And keep it right here on Channel 2 for continuing coverage of this developing and major story. Ahead of 11:30, we're going to take a look at the difference between the flu and the coronavirus. And for additional coverage, you can always go to our website, clicktohouston.com.
A 20-year-old Cyprus woman is recovering this midday after being shot twice. Deputies believe that woman's ex-boyfriend shot her and then just left the scene. That shooting started as an argument at an apartment on Grant Road. It ended outside where that woman was shot in the abdomen and the lower part of her body. We are told she's expected to survive.
Is President Trump planning on suing after the Mueller investigation?
Coming up, the move he made today and why he says that he believes the investigation was tainted.
And next, fiery finish, the scary end to the Daytona 500, the latest on the driver's injuries.
Side down.
Anytime, anywhere.
You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
New at midday, President Trump may be setting his sights on filing a lawsuit over Robert Mueller's investigation. In a series of tweets this morning, President Trump suggested that he may sue over the outcome of Mueller's investigation, saying that the former special counsel's findings are badly tainted. The president also called the investigation fraudulent and a total scam. Right now, it's uncertain on what grounds the president could sue over Mueller's findings.
Now to the latest in a developing story. NASCAR driver Ryan Newman is hospitalized in serious condition following a terrifying crash in the final lap of Monday's Daytona 500. Doctors say that while Newman's injuries are serious, they're thankfully not life-threatening. Kerry Sanders has the latest.
To the inside, Newman to the front. In the final lap of Monday's Daytona 500, Ryan Newman had just taken the lead when he was clipped by a car from behind, forcing his car to spin wildly out of control. Crash into the wall, into the air. Newman's car flipped upside down when another car, unable to steer clear, slammed into him, sending his vehicle airborne. Newman's car eventually skidding to a stop and bursting into flames. In a shower of sparks, Ryan Newman comes across the line fourth. Emergency crews rushed to the track, working quickly to pull the 42-year-old driver known as Rocket Man from his burning seat. We don't know the exact nature of Newman's injuries, but NASCAR says
he's in serious condition, but doctors have indicated his injuries are non-life-threatening.
This is not the first serious crash for Newman. His car flipped repeatedly, landing on its roof at Daytona back in 2003. But it was this crash at Daytona in 2001 that ended the life of the sport's biggest star, Dale Earnhardt Sr., who died on the final lap of the race. After that fatal crash, NASCAR beefed up its safety regulations, mandating head and neck restraints and improving car designs. In an incredible coincidence, a young driver spoke to me about those new safety regulations nearly 2 decades ago. Ryan Newman.
I really feel about 50 to 70% safer than I was last year.
This morning, Newman's fellow drivers sharing their thoughts on social media. Corey LaJoy, who slammed into Newman, writing, "Dang, I hope Newman is okay. That is worst case scenario, and I had nowhere to go." A spectacular crash at one of racing's most historic venues with a well-known driver who is lucky to be alive.
It was 19 years ago today that Dale Earnhardt Sr. died in a crash here, and the sport decided to add new safety equipment known as the Hans system. It turns out that that Hans system that Ryan Newman talked about with me 18 years ago may have been what saved his life in this accident. Kerry Sanders, NBC News at the Daytona International Speedway.
A Nevada kindergarten teacher is under fire this midday for a game that she taught her young students. That game is called Chase the Slave. In the game, players use make-believe guns and dogs to track down and capture a runaway slave. Both parents and the principal at that Las Vegas elementary school are calling this game inappropriate. The teacher has been removed from the classroom as school administrators continue to investigate. Jury deliberations continue in the Harvey Weinstein rape trial. The former Hollywood producer is accused of using his powerful position to force women into sex. Closing arguments wrapped up last week, after those nearly 3.5 weeks of court proceedings. Weinstein has denied the charges against him, claiming that any encounters were consensual.
An investigation is underway after historic pieces in Plymouth, Massachusetts, including the landmark Plymouth Rock, were found covered with graffiti. A crew from the State Department of Conservation and Recreation came in with a power washer to remove the red graffiti. In addition to the rock, red paint was also found on a statue as well as a bench. The town of Plymouth is planning this year to mark the 400th anniversary of the Pilgrims' arrival.
All right, we are in February. And it's 74 degrees out right now.
I mean, we only cooled down to 71 this morning.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So it's going to be another warm day. Yesterday we hit 81 degrees. Today probably around 80 degrees. It's coming to a crashing halt tomorrow. So if you prefer the winter temperatures, you're almost there. If you like the spring-like temperatures, get outside, enjoy it today. I know we have a little bit of cloud cover, so here's a live look outside. It does look a little gloomy, but very similar to yesterday. As we go to the afternoon, we'll start to see a few breaks of sunshine. Temperatures across town are in the 70s across the board. And we are tracking some clear conditions at the coast right now. This morning we had a dense fog advisory in Galveston. Now we can actually see some roads, so looking pretty good there. You're visibly about a mile once you get to the direct coastline. We're at 71 degrees currently in Galveston, 74 here in town, mid-70s in Conroe. The cold front itself is still well up towards Dallas. To the south of it over our area, we're just working in all that muggy weather from the Gulf, and you can see we have a few showers at the coast. Not much to write home about just yet, but as we go throughout the afternoon, especially if we see breaks of sunshine, isolated showers are possible. The best rain chance will be this evening when the cold front actually arrives. So let's time it out with our Futurecast model. I'll pause the clock at 3 p.m. for after school pickup. Mainly dry, but just take the umbrella with you here in the metro area because a stray shower not out of the question. Now, most of the showers will be in our northwest counties. So if you're picking up your kids in Brenham, Huntsville, definitely have your rain gear with you because we're going to have scattered showers across the area. Cold front itself works its way into the metro area between 7 to 9 o'clock. Notice that our north counties have a lot more action than what we're anticipating here in the metro area, and that's where we're going to see our highest rainfall totals. The cold front's going to stall out to the south of us. And coming up for Wednesday and Thursday, we just get into this cool, wet weather pattern. We'll have some light drizzle, light rain showers on Thursday with temperatures staying in the 50s. It's not until this weekend that we see a little bit of a rebound. This ridge of high pressure moves off to the east. That brings back that onshore flow. So although it's not going to be a very warm weekend, it'll be seasonably cool, what we should be feeling in February. At least it's going to be dry, and we have sunshine in the forecast. Take a look at what we're expecting rainfall-wise with this cold front. About an inch of rain here in Houston. Notice that our coastal counties maybe a quarter to a half an inch of rainfall. So this is really going to be a larger event for our north counties. About 2 to 3 inches of rain anticipated for you. That is not a flooding concern by any means. In fact, it's going to be beneficial. We're below average for our rainfall so far. I know it's kind of hard to think about that because it feels like we've had rain after rain, but it just hasn't really amounted to much. So we need the rain in the forecast. We're going to get a couple inches out of this front. Notice that Wednesday and Thursday are considerably cooler than today, and I think Thursday is going to be the soggiest day. It's not going to be heavy rainfall on Thursday, but it's going to be that steady rainfall on and off all day long with temperatures in the 50s. It's just going to be chilly and kind of yucky.
And then coming towards the weekend is where we're going to see the sunshine
right
again.
Oh,
yes.
And for Mardi Gras weekend, it's going to be perfect.
Wonderful. All right, Britta, thank you.
Nice. We'll be right back. In consumer news this morning, Walmart's e-commerce sales grew a whopping 41% in the third quarter of 2019. That will be all the buzz at the big box retailers investors meeting today at the New York Stock Exchange. The Bentonville, Arkansas-based company is spending heavily to compete against Amazon. Today, investors will be looking at the fourth quarter and whether e-commerce is finally turning a profit. Much of the sales growth comes from Walmart's grocery pickup and delivery business.
Redbox has jumped into the video streaming business with a new free service that's supported by ads. You can check it out online or through the Redbox mobile app. The service, called Free Live TV, is similar to others, offering specific channels as well as general categories such as comedy, viral videos, and entertainment news.
Whether you're lighting some birthday candles or perhaps a stogie, you really need a lighter that actually works.
Yeah, they're a game changer, and if it doesn't work, then you're like, man, this is not how I see this going. Okay, on this Test It Tuesday, consumer expert Amy Davis is testing a lighter that has no flame, uses no fuel, but claims to work better than a regular lighter.
The Atomic lighter is rechargeable with a USB. It costs us $19.88 at Walmart. And if it works as advertised, your regular Bic is no match.
Now harness the power of lightning in the palm of your hand.
The Atomic lighter uses dramatic sound effects to sell you on.
The secrets are lightning bolt technology.
I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to work out.
John Ellie's not easily excitable, but he was up for a test of the product.
Well, I was wondering how it would light something that won't fit in between those two little prongs.
Something like a cigar. Ellie huffed and he puffed. The Atomic lighter was not fast. It was hard to get the whole end of the cigar into its electric arc.
I'd probably just use a regular gas lighter with a flame.
Yeah.
I think it would probably be a little quicker and a little less fiddly.
Unlike feeble, pathetic lighters that blow out with a whisper, this thing will never let you down, even during the windiest rainstorm.
We had to make our own wind. Okay, here we go. And rain, and Ellie brought the jokes.
See if we can light a candle in the wind and channel Elton John.
The lighter did hold up to a strong breeze from this fan. There we go. Even lighting a paper towel. This is our rain.
We've got simulated rain.
And the arc stayed lit even in our rainstorm.
I don't know that you could do that with a Zippo or a Bic lighter.
When the lighter loses its charge, you simply recharge it with a USB.
Well, I think it lives up to its promise. It's a workable lighter.
The Atomic lighter outstands wind, rain, and Ellie's office is still standing. Thank goodness no one called OSHA. For that, Ellie gives it all.
No, I think thumbs up.
So the only thing Ellie did not like the lighter for was his cigars, but he thought this would be a handy gadget to have in his vehicle for when he needs it. I'm consumer expert Amy Davis, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Amy. The coronavirus and the flu have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, coming up, what you need to know to be able to tell the difference between the two.
I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez. Are you brushing your teeth right? The 5 things dentists say most people are doing wrong. Coming up.
Channel 2 News begins right now with breaking news.
That breaking news, we now know the identities of the 4 people who died in a crash in Dayton yesterday. 3 vehicles collided in that crash on State Highway 146. The victims have been identified as 41-year-old Ricardo Martinez of Houston, 40-year-old Alfredo Kuehler Jr. of Beeville, 27-year-old David Cortez of Hatch, New Mexico, and the driver of a second vehicle, 25-year-old Blaine Springer, also from Houston. The cause of that crash is still being investigated right now. All right, well, here's a look at some of our other big stories this morning.
A man in Montgomery County was able to call for help after a fence post went through his abdomen. He was driving on Highway 75 north of Shepherd Hill Road when he hit a deer and then ran off the road. First responders worked for about 30 minutes to cut that post shorter. A piece of the post was still inside of his abdomen when he was taken to the hospital. He is in critical condition.
Bail conditions are now set for the former HISD teacher accused of inappropriately touching a student. 46-year-old Raymond Williams is accused of touching a 10-year-old student in January of last year. He cannot have any contact with the victim or the victim's family. Williams cannot spend time with anyone under the age of 17, and he also has to turn in his passport. He is charged with indecency with a child.
The woman accused of kidnapping her ex-girlfriend's son told family that she was leaving with him. Nicole Harrison was watching the boy at a motel on Sunday night. When the mother came home from work, her son and Harrison were both gone. Harrison told a family member that she was taking the boy on a Greyhound. He was found safe at another hotel. Harrison and the mother were dating for about 8 years. Her bond is now set at $30,000.
Mike Bloomberg has qualified for his first Democratic presidential debate. The billion-dollar businessman will take the stage at tomorrow's debate in Las Vegas. Candidates need 4 national polls showing 10% or higher support. The former New York mayor received 19% of support from an NPR PBS Martis poll. And once again, the debate can be seen right here on Channel 2 on Wednesday. You can join Lester Holt, Chuck Todd, and Hallie Jackson for this 2-hour debate from Las Vegas. It all starts at 8 o'clock. Our very own Sion Rhodes is in Nevada for the debate, so you can look for her live reports on air and online at clicktohouston.com.
The flooding danger in central Mississippi is far from over, and with more rain on the way, it may be getting worse and spreading into neighboring states. Officials there say as many as 10 million more mid-southerners may be in danger of catastrophic flooding. NBC's Blaine Alexander is in Jackson, Mississippi with more.
In parts of Jackson, Mississippi, there is water everywhere.
You feel helpless and you want to throw in the towel.
With the worst flooding in decades affecting thousands across central Mississippi, this morning they're bracing for more rain, with another 2 inches expected over the next few days. Across parts of Jackson, the swollen Pearl River relentless, overtaking homes, shutting down streets, and flowing through bridges.
You have this kind of water in your homes, it can really disrupt your lives.
Just the sheer force of, millions of gallons of water. I mean, there's nothing you can do. If it wants in, it's coming in.
A few streets away, for this young family,
I'm about to load them up on my back, walk them in, go back and get my wife and 8-week-old. Don't let go.
There's only one way to get to their home. Across parts of the South, 10 million people are under flood warnings across 15 states, including Tennessee, where wide stretches of Hardin County are submerged. Back in Jackson, this anxious father knows it's only a matter of time before the water creeps in. But the one silver lining, an outpouring of love.
It's really been overwhelming. I'm really just kind of thinking about it. I get kind of broken up over it because it's such a good feeling to have so many friends and family that are helping out.
Now, Governor Reeves says that he has spoken to President Trump, who called to offer his support. In Jackson, Mississippi, I'm Blaine Alexander, NBC News.
Towns and villages across the UK were flooded following the second large storm in as many weeks. 3 people there have been killed. In this aerial footage, you can see the extensive flooding in the town of Hereford and the surrounding areas as the local river there burst its banks during the extreme rainfall caused by Storm Dennis.
As Houstonians, it's always heartbreaking to see that level of flooding anywhere because, we know what that's like. But here, it's just kind of muggy and soggy out. It's very not winter-like, right?
Yeah, very murky.
It's February. It's in the 70s.
Well, and this is kind of the transition. When we get into late winter, sort of early spring, we get this big roller coaster sometimes where the temperatures these big swings will get in the 70s like we are today. We'll crash into the 50s, and all that's on board as well, as Bert had been mentioning this morning. There is the front. The front's actually located just north of Dallas-Fort Worth, but there's a lot of guck just underneath it there. And notice it's still some pretty heavy rain falling across those exact same areas that you just saw the video on there, right across the Pearl River, which runs through central Mississippi. They do not need any more rain, and unfortunately, looks like there's going to be more coming with that. Jump a little tighter on this, just a few light showers up near Lake Livingston. That's about it. The front itself is not expected to bring any rain through here until later on this evening, about 4, 5, 6 o'clock. I'll time it out for you here in a couple minutes. Right now, our Kaplan Science Relief camera showing up pretty murky skies. We've got low clouds, temperatures very warm, almost 80 degrees at Hobby. Remember, we got into the low 80s yesterday, all across the board with the exception of the coast. Once again, Galveston sitting at about 71 degrees. Everybody else is well into the mid and even upper 70s. And of course, the reason why the coast is so cool, one of the reasons anyway, is marine push and that sea fog's got the visibility down to about 2 miles. Everybody else doing A-OK so far, but certainly something that we're going to be watching as we go late night tonight. Now, the temperatures will be dropping too. Notice the steady trend as we get in towards this afternoon, especially this evening. The rain chances go up as the front gets closer to us. And look at those temperatures take a nosedive too. That will be the big picture for our Wednesday and Thursday forecast. We'll get into that. And of course, I'll take that front hour by hour, kind of time things out for the rest of your day today. Christine?
All right, Justin, thank you. And remember, you at home, you can track the forecast whenever you want. Just download Frank's free forecast weather app. You can search KPRC in your mobile app store to find it.
The coronavirus outbreak has proven to be a worldwide health emergency, but it could now become an economic problem. The 338 American evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship now face their second day of quarantine. 14 of them have tested positive for COVID-19. 88 of the Americans still on that ship have tested positive for the virus. While the death toll in China continues to rise, Apple is the first American company to cry out. The company says that its sales and profits are being hit by the virus.
With the arrival of evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship back in the U.S., the number of coronavirus cases in the country has nearly doubled, but all evacuees are under quarantine, and statistically, Americans stand a much higher chance of contracting influenza as flu season hits a dangerous peak. Sarah Dolph has the story.
While much of the world has been focused on coronavirus, now officially named COVID-19, the flu has been gaining strength in the U.S., now widespread in almost every state.
We're actually on the upswing for influenza in the United States.
The CDC estimates there have been 26 to 36 million cases of influenza this season so far, a sharp contrast to the number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the country, just over 24.
The pictures you see coming out of Wuhan of people having trouble getting food and being cared for on cots in gymnasiums are frankly frightening to many people. But for people outside of the hardest hit areas of China, I think the concern is to be more about the standard respiratory illnesses.
But fears of both can be channeled into productive, preventative behaviors like washing hands, coughing and sneezing into an elbow or tissue, staying home if sick, and in the case of influenza, getting a flu shot. Experts say it's not too late.
Flu can strike anyone. It's more likely to be serious in certain groups, but even people who are young and healthy can acquire and die of influenza.
The CDC says at least 14,000 people have died so far this season from the flu, 92 of them children, including 5-year-old Lachlan DeSantis and 16-year-old Katie Giovanello. Two faces of a deadly flu season in the U.S., with millions more cases expected. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
The coronavirus is having an impact on the wedding industry. Experts say the deadly virus is interrupting the supply chain for wedding dresses coming out of China. Many Chinese manufacturers and factories have shut down due to the outbreak. That means fewer Chinese-made wedding dresses and fabrics are making their way to bridal stores here in the U.S. The delays have some shop owners urging those planning a wedding to not wait on ordering a dress, even if their wedding isn't until 2021 or later.
A warm welcome from man's best friend, or at least JJ. The Texan superstar shared this really cute video of a reunion with his dogs after returning home from the Bahamas with his now wife, Kaylee Watt. The two tied the knot over the weekend, with Watt calling it, quote, the best day of his life. Without question. Those
that
pups
is
are
the best
so
video.
excited.
We all know that feeling, though, when your pup comes home. I love it. All right, Rockets teammates James Harden and Russell Westbrook are gracing this month's cover of GQ magazine. In an interview with GQ, Harden and Westbrook reflect on their OKC Thunder days, compare how much they spend on clothes every year, and their NBA tunnel styles. With a couple of MVPs and almost 200 triple doubles, the duo also mentioned that with being reunited on the Rockets, they're confident that they can finish the job and win a championship for Houston.
We are hoping.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, don't mess with the Swifts because they're tough.
They really are. Coming up, what Taylor Swift's father did when he came face to face with a burglar.
But first, getting a live look at Wall Street.
KPRC.
In entertainment news, a weekend crime still sending shockwaves across Hollywood. A prominent therapist who was once engaged to comedian Drew Carey was found murdered. The suspect, another man she had dated. NBC's Erin McLaughlin has the red flags that she raised with police.
Hi, this is Dr. Amy Harwick, licensed marriage and family therapist.
A well-known Hollywood therapist is being remembered, and one of her ex-boyfriends is being charged with murder. According to police, early Saturday morning, emergency crews responded to reports of a woman screaming. They found 38-year-old Amy Harwick unresponsive beneath a third-story balcony. The police investigation revealed possible evidence of a struggle, as well as forced entry and significant injuries consistent with a fall. Harwick later died at the hospital.
Hello, everybody.
The suspect's been identified as 41-year-old Gareth Pursehouse. NBC's not been able to reach him for comment. According to police, Harwick had recently expressed fear about him and filed a restraining order, which had expired. Police say the two saw each other just 2 weeks ago. Harwick, whose death is still being investigated, dedicated much of her life's work to counseling victims of abuse. The CDC says nearly half of all women homicide victims are killed by a current or former partner. Restraining order laws vary from state to state.
Some research does suggest that threats of violence and actual incidents of physical violence go down after a victim obtains a restraining order.
TV host Drew Carey was once engaged to Harwick. He says he's overcome with grief, describing her as a positive force in the world, an unapologetic champion of women. Now, police are looking into whether she was a victim of the very violence she worked to prevent. Erin McLaughlin, NBC News.
A burglar in Florida received a swift kick in the you-know-where when he went up against Taylor Swift's dad. According to the Tampa Bay Times, Scott Swift was returning to his $4 million penthouse last month just as someone was entering it. A fight ensued. Swift later picked Terrence Hoover's photo out of a lineup, and authorities finally found the 30-year-old and arrested him on burglary charges. Hoover's mother says this whole matter was a misunderstanding.
He was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he didn't mean any harm, and he didn't have any intention of stealing or hurting anybody.
Hoover is being held on a $50,000 bond.
A force to be reckoned with. Hip-hop star Eminem has reached yet another milestone. Another one of his music videos has now passed the 1 billion view mark on YouTube. The official music video for Rap God hit the mark more than 6 years after it was released back in 2013.
Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden just got a shot in the arm from an iconic singer and actress. Cher has thrown her support behind the former vice president. She tweeted that she would not turn her back on him now that it is struggling. Cher is no stranger to politics. She endorsed and campaigned for Hillary Clinton back in 2016.
Disney World wants to add even more magic to its Cinderella Castle, the iconic centerpiece of Disney's Magic Kingdom Park. It is now getting a makeover. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. The work will get underway in the coming weeks and will continue through summer. The castle is located at Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. A celebration honoring Tejano legend Selena's legacy is coming to San Antonio. Today, Suzette and A.B. Quintanilla, along with San Antonio's mayor, announced the day-long tribute concert. It will honor 25 years of Selena's legacy. The previous year's celebration in Corpus Christi, the Fiesta de la Flor Festival, that was canceled a few months ago. The tribute concert will be held at Alamo Dome in San Antonio on May 9th, 2020.
The Kansas City Zoo has a new addition. Check it out, a white-cheeked gibbon. Gibbons live in the rainforest and are native to China, Laos, and Vietnam. They are known for their athleticism and piercing, loud, long calls. Gibbons play a vital role in the forest by spreading undigested seeds of fruit, plants, and trees. But in the last few decades, their numbers have decreased by more than 80%.
Congratulations, what a cutie.
Everybody loves a baby.
Yes.
Especially baby zoo.
I've told you, they are loud. We were with the zoo in Malaysia a couple years ago. You could hear them in the morning. And
really?
It's like coyotes. Once one get going, they kind of signal
They're
to the rest of them.
talking. Yeah, like,
and
what
they
are y'all
are just
talking about?
piercing. That is a great descriptor of that as well. Yeah, so tell you what, you know, it's one of those days where you just kind of look out there and you're like,
You're like,
not really motivated to do
too
anything
much,
today.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like that lack of sunshine really will just kind of nail you at that point. Yeah, it really does. That's kind of what we're seeing. Fairly overcast across the area. Now, we did deal with a little bit of dense fog this morning. Most of that is backed off with the exception as you get down towards Galveston. I'll show you what it looks like there here in just a sec. But this is a live look from right out here at Channel 2. We've got temperatures still warm. Obviously, the front hasn't made it through yet with everybody sitting in the 70s, and even over at Hobby where they're close to 80 degrees. Did get 80 there yesterday. So at least we could see the Pleasure Pier today, which is better than it's been the last couple of days and certainly better than it was last evening when you could barely even check out some of Seawall Boulevard there. But this is the story. Humidity is still holding at about 90%, 71 degrees down there right now, and the dew points all still running in the mid and even upper 60s. So 2-mile visibility as you get to the island. That's above the criteria for dense fog advisory. That's why it's not there yet. Everybody else looking okay, but those clouds are going to hang real low if you've got business downtown or if you just check out the skyscrapers downtown. They are pretty much blocked out from, you know, floor 30 on up. So that southeast wind will keep the warm air in place. But where's the front? We play the game. Yep, there it is. Dallas at 48, 74 here in Houston. So it is slowly chugging its way southward, and it is going to take its time as it does. So it is also bringing in a chance for some showers and even a couple of thunderstorms. You see some of the lightning strikes there right around the DFW Metroplex, and then even a little bit of snow as you get up in towards southern Missouri. But this is all going to take the heavy stuff away from us. I don't think it's going to be much of a rainmaker, at least for much of the area. Now watch as we get into this afternoon by about 4 or 5 o'clock as the front gets closer to us. That big contrast, 60 degrees out towards Bryan College Station, near 80 down in Katy, and that is what is likely going to help trigger off some showers and thunderstorms that will stay mainly north of the downtown area. So I think if you're in the loop trying to get in and out of work this evening, it should be okay. Looks like the majority of that is all going to hang to the north of us. But look at those 50s versus the 60s and even the low 70s. Eventually, as we go into the overnight hours, that front clears the coast. Everybody's back down into the 50s and low 60s tomorrow morning. Most of the heavy rain continues to stay to the north of us, but those temperatures tomorrow afternoon are going to struggle to get up into the mid and upper 50s. And that'll be the case over the next couple of days. The cool air, winds out. This last little disturbance will slide through here tomorrow, or Thursday, that is. That'll bring that last rain gasp as it moves on through. High pressure slides in, and by the end of the week and into the weekend, that starts to cool things off and clear out the skies, thankfully, and then we'll slowly start to warm things back up as we get in towards the weekend. So the weekend looks pretty good. So nice if we get the rain through here. Let's get it through here during the week, and then our bookends on the weekends looks pretty good so far, 50s and 60s, and even over those chilly in the 40s before, once again, we jump on that roller coaster and we're back up into the 70s. And this is kind of what happens as we get into late winter here. These fronts start coming through, and so, you know, we're so close to the Gulf. It doesn't take much to take a 60-degree day and turn it into a 75-degree day. All you gotta do is switch those winds, and we're back in the spring.
I do think we've been lucky, though, on the weekends with the parades happening and the games,
lucky.
and
Yes.
it's been nice.
Yeah, very lucky about that.
Yeah, all right. We can always look forward to it, even though it's Tuesday, right? All right, Justin, thank you.
Never too early. Well, next, is there a method to the way you should be brushing your teeth? Health reporter Haley Hernandez shows us the proper techniques.
Get it delivered.
Welcome back. There are 5 mistakes most people make while brushing their teeth. Even dentists admit to doing some of these. Health reporter Haley Hernandez reveals what you need to do right while brushing.
This is really important because neglecting your dental health can lead to infections, which can get into your blood supply, your bones, and that can lead to permanent damage. So in addition to seeing your dentist twice a year, make sure that you're doing these things every day.
According to the World Dental Federation, between 60 to 90% of kids and nearly 100% of adults have tooth decay. To fight it, Dr. Judson Wells from UT Health says divide your mouth into 4 quadrants and brush each for 30 seconds.
30, 30, 30, and 30 seconds to give you 2 minutes of brushing.
Even dentists say that's longer than you think, and Wells doesn't think anyone is doing it right. If you're determined to have better dental habits, use a timer and brush for 2 minutes total. Switch your toothbrush every 3 to 4 months, and don't use a hard brush. Actually, Wells says go for extra soft.
And if you're using a medium or a hard bristle toothbrush, you can do damage.
Don't use a sawing motion on your teeth either. That's too much friction on your enamel. Instead,
you really want to stop on every individual tooth and just brush in small circles with the bristles aimed at the gum line.
Another mistake people make is avoiding areas of the mouth that bleed. Dr. Wells says that's the opposite of what you should be doing, since inflammation that causes bleeding can be corrected with brushing and flossing. So give that area extra attention for 2 to 3 weeks, he says, and the issue should resolve on its own. I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez, KPRC Channel 2 News.
April 15th will be here before you know it. Will your taxes be ready? Some tips to help you save some cash.